Hello everyone, my name is Trevor Bragg and here to give you everything you need to know about living in Phoenix, and today we're doing a full tour of Peoria, Arizona. This is my new hometown here in the Phoenix area. We just moved and we are going to be officially moving in later this week. We just closed on the house. So this is going to be my new hometown, and I wanted to give you guys a full map tour of what it is about this city of Peoria that seems to be so appealing. It's an extremely popular place for people to move to. This will be a really helpful video if you're just moving to the area or just moved here and want to know a little bit more about kind of where the main things to do, what are some of the best communities, where are those located at, and where overall is Peoria located compared to maybe some of the other things in the Phoenix area. So this video, I'm going to keep my face out of it for the most part. It's going to be us looking at a map to see, well, where are all these different places in Peoria and what should you know when you're moving to this area and what to expect. So let's get into that right now. Before we get started, I have to plug, I always have my free Moving to Phoenix guide. So if you want that, it's everything you should know before moving to the Phoenix area. Totally free. Just email me and I'll send that over to you. All right, so the city of Peoria. You can see right here, this is the official outline of the city, and just looking where it is on the map, it is in the West Valley, but it is still fairly central compared to some of these other West Valley cities like Surprise and Buckeye are definitely more on the outskirts, and it's right against the 101. That's probably the number one freeway you would use unless you're living way up here. You may take the 303 to the 17. In general, the Peoria really ends right about here as far as where homes are. They're starting to be more up here because of the factory that's going in right here. Huge chip manufacturer that's being built there. And for the most part, this is what people recognize as Peoria. Funny enough, this half down here, maybe when you cross, I don't know, right around Thunderbird and below, people tend to think this is part of Glendale. It is Peoria, but their city lines, as you can see, they're pretty wonky, so sometimes Glendale and Peoria get mashed together, especially in the upper half of Glendale. So some things you should know as far as like where the main hubs in Peoria. Well, the number one is going to be a place called P83, which is right at this corner right here, and you could even see some of it actually isn't in Peoria, but really this area right here. This is where the Peoria Sports Complex is, and this is where the Mariners and the Padres have their spring training games. And spring training is a huge deal here in the Phoenix area in the months of end of February through March. It is an extremely popular time for people to be visiting, go to the spring training games for baseball, and there's a spring training field right there. So this area really is the main hub of Peoria, I would say. This is where they have a ton of great restaurants over here. We really like Bubba's 33. This is a nice steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse. There's also a theater over here. And yeah, that's a main hub. It's just as far as things to do, that's where there's going to be a lot of things. They have events here fairly often, you know, things, big community events like 4th of July, stuff like that. They're going to have fireworks. And then also this is where there's quite a bit of shopping. This is where my wife spends a decent amount of her time over here. There's a Target, Ross, Home Goods, Hobby Lobby. I mean, that is exactly what she is looking for. There's also an ice skating rink. And then also right over here, if I could find it, is their Arizona Broadway Theater. So this is where you're going to be able to go see plays, and it's a really, really high-end show that's going on over there. So that's a main hub. And then right across the street, not Peoria, but you know, you're going to be using this fairly often. Obviously, it's right next to it, is going to be the Arrowhead Mall area. So this is a indoor mall, which is huge, especially over summers. Tons of stores and stuff over there. A ton of other restaurants on this side of the street. Technically Glendale, but I mean, you're going to be going there living in Peoria. Barrio Queen is a favorite of ours over here. So this really is your main hub when it comes to restaurants, things to do. Also a huge spot. There's a Costco as well as a Sam's Club, but I mean, really Costco's the best place right there. We spend quite a bit of time at Costco. So that is over there. If you come a little bit more south, you have Rio Vista. This is where there's a rec center and a community park, and only residents of Peoria get the discount to this community center. Anyone can technically go, but you get a discount if you're a resident, and it's a really good deal. I mean, it's about $20 a month, or you could pay $4 per day that you go. But $20 a month, and you get all access to this really cool community center. It's really great if you have kids where they could go. They have day programs, they have activities, they have clubs, stuff like that. But as an adult, there's also a workout gym. There's a basketball court, or there's two of them actually, which also could be used for volleyball or pickleball. They have special nights for. They have group fitness classes that you can sign up for that are totally free. So if you're kind of looking for a community and want a place to go hang out, the Rio Vista Rec Center is a great option, and you get a discount. I mean, $20 a month for all that. Really, like for a gym alone, $20 a month is pretty good, and it's a decent gym. Plus the fitness classes and all the other things you get access to. Pretty cool spot right there. And this is again not part of Peoria, but it is your closest large entertainment district, which is going to be Westgate. This is where the Desert Diamond Casino is, and there's also the Desert Diamond Arena. That's where a ton of concerts are held, or they have UFC fights, stuff like that goes on there. It's a really cool spot. It kind of feels like you're inside of a stadium, but it's an outdoor mall, restaurants, bars, stuff like that over there. And then the State Farm Stadium is right here. That's where the Arizona Cardinals play, and then Top Golf as well. So that's really like your closest big entertainment, like really big things to do. Obviously, there's Scottsdale and Phoenix, but this is going to be your closest option. I don't know why we're stuck on great clips of Glendale there. Okay, so a little bit other things you should know. The last kind of main hub of things that maybe you'd want to visit or you're going to be visiting quite a bit is going to be this Happy Valley and Lake Pleasant corner right here. This is where there's just more restaurants, a few other things to do, but it's mostly restaurants and shopping right here. So if you live kind of anywhere in this area, that's probably where you're going to be doing a lot of your shopping, grocery stores, or trying some new restaurants right here. So a good spot right there as well. And then as far as communities, so where are these different communities on the map in Peoria? Let's pull up Peoria again just so we can see the outline. As far as communities that I would kind of target, in general, most people prefer the northern end of Peoria. So the southern end around here, not a bad spot by any means, but it doesn't have any communities that people like really desire to move to in the sense of like huge communities that have great events or are extremely well kept. It is a nice area. It's not a place I would say avoid this by any means. It does have lower crime rates than some surrounding spots, but overall, most people prefer northern Peoria. But it comes with a higher cost. I mean, that's expected. A more desirable area is going to be a little bit more expensive. So we'll kind of go from south to north as far as the things that you should know. This is Westbrook Village. This is a 55-plus community inside of Peoria, and it's a nice area. They've got a cool rec center right there where it's got, you know, an indoor gym. They've got pools, tons of pickleball courts, a nice golf course, all that good stuff right here in Westbrook Village. This is not technically Peoria. A lot of people think that it is just because it has the vibe of Peoria. Most of Glendale is not considered too nice of a city except for the northern part. This northern part above Thunderbird tends to be a highly recommended area in Glendale, and this Arrowhead Ranch area has the vibe of Peoria, just a really well-maintained community. It is an HOA area. They've got lakes, they've got golf courses, all that good stuff. So not Peoria, but similar to it. And then if you go a little bit more north, you have Dove Valley Ranch and Fletcher Heights are right in this area right here. Both are great communities. They are a little higher priced. You're probably going for around the $450 to $550 price range for a starter home there, but it is a really great community for that price range, especially for a starter home. It's not a place that you're going to find maybe a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot $1 million home, but it's going to be a really well maintained. It's going to be nice driving around. You're going to see a ton of trees. They have, water features and stuff going into the community. They have community events at these places. So it is definitely a nice community right there. Definitely highly recommended if you're in that price range. And then if you come a little bit higher here, this is Camino Al Lago, which is definitely a famous part of the Peoria area. This is going to be a little bit of higher end homes. You're going to see some larger lots. And then the Meadows is a little bit more of a community vibe, a little bit more of a suburb, but an extremely high end suburb. You will find 3,000, 4,000 square foot homes, giant RV garages, but inside of a suburb with a maintained HOA. They've got a cool park in there. People are always at this park. They're either playing pickleball, or a popular thing there is actually for them to play cricket. You'll see the kids playing cricket all the time at this park, which is ironic. You don't see that too often in the Phoenix area, but right here you do for some reason. So Camino Al Lago, definitely a place you should know. If you come up here a little bit more, this is West Wing Mountain, and kind of this whole section gets chunked into the West Wing Mountain area. Although West Wing Mountain does have its own community called that, everywhere around here is just known for it because it is next to West Wing Mountain. And this is, again, a really nice suburb. You get some pretty good mountain views for a lot of houses up there. Basically, the more northern you go in Peoria, it tends to be the more expensive it is. That's where you're going to find the nicer and the larger homes and the newer homes, right? As Phoenix grew, maybe we started down here building homes just because that's kind of the circle radius of Phoenix. And as the Phoenix area grew, we had newer homes, and then the newest homes kind of in this upper corner up here. So yeah, West Wing Mountain, Cibola Vista, great great area up here, and it's an amazing suburb. You can find a newer home, and really nice views can be up there as well. And then the last community you really should know about is Vistancia. Very well-known community, probably the most known community of Peoria. Now it is, as you can see, the farthest from it. You're probably about a 15-20 minute drive just to the 101. It's going to be extremely popular when people are working up here for the TSMC factory. But Vistancia, large community. It has 4 different sections to it, one of which is a guard-gated country club vibe community. It's called Blackstone. Extremely high end. Average sales price is over $1 million there. It's extremely luxurious, extremely coveted place to move in there. Another is going to be Trilogy at Vistancia, which is their 55 plus community. It is guard gated as well. It is my favorite 55 plus community. And then the other 2 communities, one is called The Village, which is the largest, and that is an all age community. Very family-centered vibe there. They have a large rec center that has a basketball court, that has a gym. They've got 3 amazing pools, a lap pool, a really cool resort pool, and then just kind of a normal pool. But the resort pool is pretty awesome. You know, palm trees, umbrellas. They actually have a slide going down it. They also have tennis courts, pickleball courts. It's one of the best community centers that I've seen for an all-age community. Usually something with this many amenities is in a 55-plus community that's a much higher HOA, but not in Vistancia. It is higher. It's about $120 a month, but for that, compared to some of the other ones I've seen in 55-plus communities, you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. And then the newest community is called North Point up here. There's a few different builders, and those are mostly new builds. There's probably not going to be many resales available because they just started building in the last couple of years, but there are still new builds. Not many are left. They are almost all the way sold out, or they're waiting for more permits to open up so that they can build more. But those are the main sections. This is an extremely popular community. The nice part about Vistancia is that the only people that are up there are the people who live in Vistancia. So as far as crime rates, it's extremely low compared to the other communities anywhere just about in the Phoenix area, because you're just so far distance that no one's really going out of the way. No one's passing through Vistancia. A big plus, too, is that you are so close to Lake Pleasant if you're in this northern half in West Wing Mountain or Vistancia, that you can get to Lake Pleasant in 15-20 minutes. So if you like to be out on the boat, like to go out on the water, you can be extremely close access in that northern part of Peoria. So that's the main stuff you should know about Peoria. It is a extremely highly recommended city by myself and by just about everyone that lives here. It actually had the highest appreciation when I did a study from the beginning of this year to now, which cities in the Phoenix area had the highest appreciation by their median sale price. Peoria came in number 1 of all. There are over 20 cities in the Phoenix area. Peoria had the highest appreciation, showing its demand. And also, when the market took a downturn from June of 2022 to January of 2023, Peoria actually had the least decrease in prices compared to any other city in the Phoenix area. So you can see the demand. You can see there's some great communities. There's some great things to do. Extremely family-centered city, just in general, just what the vibe Peoria is going for. That tends to be the target audience for people that are moving there. So hopefully this is a city you consider. Again, it is my new hometown here in Phoenix, so I can't recommend it enough. Let me know your guys' thoughts and if you had any questions about Peoria. And if you wanted that free Moving to Phoenix guide, my email and number on the screen. Again, I'm a realtor in the area, so if you wanted any help moving to Peoria or any city in Phoenix, I would love to help you or just answer a few questions. Feel free to reach out to me. Stay tuned for more videos like this.